Pepper. I am taping all the way from South Africa, wanting to come in. I did a video. Unfortunately, the video had to be erased. The network cuts off at a certain time. So those of you that was on video, live video with me, thank you so much. Finding the missing pieces, we will do when I get back to the U.S. and we will redo that. Hello, how are you? We will redo that. But I want you to come on. I am on here and I'm still in South Africa finishing strong. And I've been getting letters from you, and the letters I'm getting, the emails I'm getting is I've been discarded and the pain is so tremendous. What do I do? How can I continue? I know not to go back, but everything in me is headed that way because I can't stand the pain. You're going to have to troubleshoot. When you troubleshoot something, you're finding out the weakness of that arena, and you're going to have to troubleshoot your mind, troubleshoot your emotions. And once you troubleshoot, you're going to have to tag it. You're going to have to tag what it is, because remember, having a relationship with a narcissist is not a just or normal relationship. It is an addiction, and you're going to find yourself having to pull away from an addiction. You're going to need tremendous support. You may even require a therapist. When you require a therapist, you can get a therapist that is familiar with cluster B personalities, torturous personalities, narcissistic personalities, and these are extreme personality. A narcissistic personality syndrome is tremendous. So NPD is really, really, really something to deal with. And many of you are just finding out why this pattern continue. Many of you just finding out why this happened. And so even though I'm here in South Africa, you are on my heart. You're on my mind. And I'm sensing some of the trauma that you're going through because of the trauma bonding. And many of you are having all kind of ailments in your body. Many of you are telling me you're having acid reflux. You're having what do you call ulcers. Many of you can't sleep. You can't deal with your family because you've been discarded. You're trying to stay away, but you feel that it's your fault that he left. It is not your fault that he left. A narcissist has a pattern, and this pattern is exemplified in all relationships. Even though you have your grandiose narcissist, then you have your vulnerable narcissist. Many of you with the vulnerable narcissist, and they are very, how can I say it? Fearful. They operate with fear. They intimidated easily. They're very jealous over things. They still controlling because they feel that if they don't have ultimate control, that you don't care for them. And remember, narcissists doesn't live by love. They live by fuel. You have provided so much fuel for this narcissist until this narcissist has become a leech onto your system, a leech to your mind, your brain, your desires, your ambition, your strength, your energy, your family, your life, your friends. Any area that this leech can attach, he will draw energy from, he will draw life from. And anytime he draws life from you, that's a life source that you are no longer getting. So you got to remember that you're going to have to ascertain strength. If you want to come out of this, you're going to have to do what it takes to come out. First of all, and those of you who have children, those of you who are married, you will find it a lot more difficult coming out of this, because you can't just leave with the narcissist children. They have parental rights, and they will go to court to exercise those rights. And when you go to court, you can't tell the court that you are with a narcissist, because 9 times out of 10, if you don't have a clinical diagnosis, they're going to look unfavorable on you, as if you are trying to self-diagnose the situation, and as if you are trying to control the narcissist. And the narcissist is a very smart individual. And remember, they don't care about feelings. They don't care how you feel. They care about what you give them. Everything is synergistic around them. The narcissists don't care if they tear up your family, you lose your friend, you lose your job. The narcissist doesn't care about that. The narcissist care that his needs are met. Even in the midst of trauma, in the midst of pain, you can go through the worst moment of your life, and the narcissist won't care anything about that. He cares about you being there for him, you surrounding yourself with him, you get or her, or you giving yourself to them. And many of you have given yourself to the narcissist until you have given away your energy, you've given away your reason, you've given away the reason why you want to live, why you want to go forward. Many of your drive for life has been sabotaged. You no longer feel the thrive in you. Some of you have just totally been beat out of the fight zone. You cannot be beat out of the fight zone. You're going to have to rise up again. You're going to have to fight again. Every single day that you're in the house with the narcissist, it's a day of fight. Every single day you are there with the narcissist, you must do something to encourage your thinking, encourage in your mind. Nothing is more brilliant than a book. Christians, nothing is more brilliant than the Bible. Read it along with other books that is going to strengthen you, that is going to encourage you, other books that tell you who you are, not books to tell you who you are not. And many of you educate yourself. I did a video on that. Many of you are falling back into the traps because you have loosening the ties of education. You have loosening the strength of education. You notice that when you was educating yourself, you got stronger, you got more resistant to the narcissist. You come to a place of enough. You came to a place of finishing. You start becoming what you knew you could, and you start being what you knew you could, and you start doing what you knew you could because you had strength. You had the support system. You had it to undergird you, where you have so many videos that can strengthen you. And then those of you, you got books. Go get books that tell you about your person, books that strengthen your mind. There is a psychologist, and her name is Dr. Caroline Leaf. I recommend every book she's ever written. She even got exercises that some of you who say, I can't think, I'm having memory loss because you've been with the narcissist and he has gaslighted you, he has trauma bonded you, and you have been so in torment until you said, my memory has been affected by this relationship. In her books, she have exercise so you can recapture your memory. You don't have to let your memory go. You can recapture it. You can build exercises, 63 days, 27 days, that you can rebuild your mind, because the frontal lobe of your mind, if you can see the bashing that your brain has went through, and your brain through trauma bonding, your brain don't know the light or the day, because by the time your brain says light, night comes in. By the time your brain says night, day comes in. So the narcissist is filled with confusion, and they want to confuse you. They do it on purpose. You will have to fight back. But remember, the first key to anything is recognition. Once you recognize what you're going through, then the next thing you need to do is to say, what can I do about it? How can I strengthen myself in it? How has it affected me? How has it affected my children? How has it affected the law of economics in my life? What is my job now? How have I lost stamina? Look at yourself. Get a picture of before you was with the narcissist. Get a picture of you during the narcissistic relationship, and look at your eyes. Look at how there's nothing. Your eyes seem empty. Look at your skin. You just seem like you're existing. Some of you said you look like a corpse. Some of you have had strokes. You have had all heart attacks, all behind the trauma bonding, and you went back back because you said it was easier to be with them than to be without them. And that's a whole lie. That's a whole deception. It is easier for you to live. It's easier for you to know who you are. You have what it takes. Let me tell you something. Not everybody can handle a narcissist, because we've had people who have literally ended their lives because they couldn't handle it. If you codependent, a narcissist is definitely not good. They're not good on any basis. But a codependent person lose themselves with the narcissist. They become what they have joined to until they no longer can separate themselves from their attachment. And they start taking on the evil, taking on the wickedness. And all of this turns to a cancer inside of their minds, inside of their heart, inside of their destiny, inside of their ambition, when none of that works anymore. You used to be thrilled, you love to read. You used to be thrilled, you love to go to the gym. You used to be thrilled, you love to write. You used to be thrilled, you will go to the hospitals. You used to be thrilled educating yourself. Now you can't even think to stay in school because it's like your mind have lost the electricity of just thinking, of intelligence. You are super intelligent, and the intelligence that you have is still there. The strength that you have is still there. So don't think that you've lost. It has been covered. It has been hidden. There is life after a narcissistic relationship. Come on. You can thrive again. You can get up again. You can expand again. You are more than what you become since being with them. And see, you got to remember the law of transference goes into effect when you join the narcissist. They join you because of the goodness and the beauty that you have in you. But then what they want to kill is everything that brought them to you, everything they like in you. Now they want to kill it. Now they want to sabotage it. And many of you are allowing these type relationships to sabotage who you are. And you no longer know who you are. Your kids don't even know who you are. You don't have the drive, the thrive. Get it back. Get it back. Get up, get it back. It's not automatic. It's not going to come automatic. And what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight for who you are. You're going to have to fight again. You're going to have to get your fight back. You fight your way to victory. You fight your way back to remembrance. You fight the fog out of your life. You fight and stop resisting the non-resistant. That means you give into things easy because you think that you can't live without the narcissist. The narcissist became your everything. The narcissist became your breath. When they come upon you, they trained you. They trained you to answer the phone at a certain time. They trained you to be there at a certain time. They trained you that when they call, you answer. They trained you that they were going to call, so they got into your expectation. And your expectation set you up to receive when they call. But you didn't realize that they was training your presence. They was training your location. They can locate you now because they train you to respond. They train you to ascertain, to anticipate. They train you to anticipate them. And when you were trained to anticipate them, you start looking for them. You became the huntress or the hunter. You start hunting a time to be with them, hunting a time to love them, hunting a time to be saturated with them because you were trained. Love bombing is your basic training. It teaches you what the narcissists want. It teaches you how to do it and how to be good at it. Some of you are trained. You are trained not to fail at satisfying them. You are trained to anticipate their needs. You are trained that if it looked like something is wrong, you try to figure it out, even though you know in your mind, in your heart, you haven't did anything wrong. You were trained to do that. You were trained that when you go out to do things for yourself, the narcissist must come first. You were trained to put your children second and put them in the forefront. You were trained that they were better than your education, trained better than they was in your intellect. You were trained that they were even more powerful than your breath. Even some of you gave up your God for your narcissist. You used to go to church. You no longer go to church. You used to pray. Now it's difficult to pray. You used to read your Bible. Now you don't read your Bible. You used to trust God. Now you don't trust God because you don't know where he is. You don't believe that he's for you. You don't believe that you are worth it. See, all of your value system diminished when you start to decrease the activities of building yourself up. You cannot be with a narcissist and the narcissist allow you to build the strength of who you are. The narcissist is going to make sure that you contaminate every forum that has to do anything with your growth, anything with your development. He or she is going to make sure that that preliminary basic is destroyed, and everything is about them. This is when they leave, all of your antennas go up. You almost don't know what to do without them anymore because you are trained. Then you find out that when they leave, you are struggling even in parenting your children. Some of you got temporary relief, but as time went on and you were not aware that you was dealing with the narcissist, that you start to crave them, want them, your parenting skills begin to diminish because instead of thinking about the child and their needs, you was thinking about the narcissist and his needs or her needs. You start to suffer. The child suffer. The child can't help themselves. They are vulnerable. You have to rise up. You have to be strong. Here in South Africa, oh my God, the beauty that is around me. I realize how huge, how big. I always knew this, but this even confirmed it even further, how big life is. You got one shot at this. You got one time at this. You don't want to blow this. You want to be as big as you can be. Every forum that God give you, you're supposed to master that forum. You cannot master a narcissist. Some of you praying, God, change him. No, God is changing you. You want God to change him. You want God to change her. God is changing you. You can't change another person, but you can be the change for yourself. You can operate on a scale greater, bigger, higher, deeper, wider, stronger than what you've been operating before. The narcissist is going to be the same. All the trauma is going to be the same. All the lies is going to be the same. You say, I'm torn and discard. It was meant for you to be torn because the discard in the pain was to bring you back like a puppy on a leash or a puppy that has been tagged. You have been tagged to come back to the narcissist. That's why the narcissists don't believe that you can do without them. They believe that a Hoover will bring them back. And when they get you, they make sure they train you. They are training you for their return. They are training you for their usage. They're training you for whatever they need. That's the whole you. Yes, discard is painful. Yes, it takes time to get over it. Yes, you're going to have to work hard at it. And yes, there are going to be times you want to go back. There are going to be times that everything in you is going to tell you you're a fool for staying away because you're thinking somebody else going to get it and somebody else going to love him and they're going to win him or win her. And you're going to think that if it was, I don't want anybody to take my place. I want to be the one that win them. So your sexual prowessness, you giving up all of your finances, you just go broke. You give up all of your ambition until you spend your time there. A narcissist is not one who learn how to value. They don't know value. They know self-worth. They know self-value. But when it comes to you, they don't know value. So when you say it hurt in a discard, that is some of the worst pain you will ever experience. But I want you to be a champion. Let's turn it. Let's turn all of your pain to your gain. Since you got the pain and you have to go through the process, let's turn it where it works for you and it doesn't destroy you. Yes, you have to go through it. It's uncomfortable. Learn how to go through uncomfortable situation with a mind, with a thought, with an intent, with a goal. We need to get some goals. What are your goals? What do you want to do in the midst of the trauma that you're going through? Because some of you have actually got tired of it. Some of you said, I don't want this anymore. Some of you said, I don't even want to do this anymore. Okay, when you get there, that's a powerful place to be. Really, that's your motivating place because that's the place where you will start to activate and you will start to do things. And when you start to do things, you will start to going forth. And when you start to go forth, it's right there when you've had enough that you're willing to do the extra, that you're willing to pay the price, that you're willing to go forward, that you're willing to use the stamina, and that you're willing to use your thought, to use your memory, to go in your memory bank, all that pain and unlock it. And then you unlock a strategy for it. The pain you went through is to help somebody else, to strengthen somebody else. Nothing that you went through is waste. This is not a garbage receptacle. This right here is a lifeline for people. You are a lifeline. The pain that you have What are you going to do with it when you've been discarded? You're going to have to get books. Always keep books around. Books distract you from the negativity and attract you to the positive. Books distract you from the negativity and attract you to the positive. Get a book and read it. Read it out loud, because your brain will say, I don't feel like reading. Override that. Read it out loud. If you have to throw it on the floor, get in a cold shower. Then get in the cold shower. Read it out loud. Do what it takes for you to live. Do what it takes for you to survive. You survived the narcissist. You are in your right mind. Someone else is in the grave with the same type narcissist you got. Get in your book. Read it. Build your mind. Build it, build it, build it. Because your mind is the strength of your next move. And your mind is the catalyst to your next move. Your mind is the headway to your next move. Strengthen your mind. You are more powerful than what you believe. You may be crying now, but you're not going to cry always, baby. We all got that testimony. You're not going to cry always. It's not going to be pain. It's not going to be hurt always. You will rise again. You will get up again. You will see again. You will know again. You will speak again. You will be surrounded by powerful people that love you, care for you, and understand you. This is a moment where you're located. It's not a moment where you're staying. This is not your residence. This is your travel place. You are traveling through this pain, and it is not the thing that is going to launch you there. It's not the thing that's going to give you an address. It's the thing that's going to catapult you to the heights of success and the heights of victory. The one gift the narcissist gave you was how to deal with pain. That's what the narcissist gave you. And that's what you're going to learn to fight. Newly discarded? All right, let's use the pain. If you got it, let's use it. Books, educate yourself, friends, people who care about you, people who love you. You don't have a friend, you have me, you have Carmen, you have Direct Associates Direct, you have Kim Saeed. Come on here, you have different arenas that you can go to that help you, and you know that there's help is there. Go to HELP, help. Dr. Bryan have on her page a list of therapists. Those of you who have a good church, a good pastor, a sound pastor with wisdom that is in tune with God, they can help you because of the wisdom, and they are familiar with narcissistic behavior. Get the help you need. Trauma is not the place we stay, it's the experience that we have. And we're stronger than that, we're more powerful than that. I wanted to come on quickly. Thank you so much for those of you who come on. I am here in South Africa, and I don't have a charger for my phone. We just now came from a safari of seeing lions and leopards and tigers and hyenas and cubs, and you name it, we saw it. And I'm telling you, look for my pictures on Facebook. You will be intrigued and you will be thrilled. I'm Helen Sadler. I'm your destiny helper. And remember, it's our new beginning, and this is our power pack. Every pain we have, it will not be wasted. We will use it for good. The narcissist gift you with fight power. Use it. God gift you with enduring strength and life power. Use it. I'm Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. See you when I get back to the U.S.